And welcome back. Sawdust Festival is ongoing. In fact, it's got another few weeks, September 1st, and it's a lot of fun every year to go down there. Great artists, of course, and we have another great one here today, Grant Bathke, who's a mixed media artist. Welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on the show. Is this your first run at the Sawdust, or have you been there for a few years?
It's actually my second summer, but
Okay.
it's my first summer with my own booth.
You shared a booth?
Yeah, last summer I ended up sharing a booth.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, and it was a good experience, great way to kind of get my feet wet.
Yeah.
But now I have my own this year, and that's great too. So.
Now, last year when you shared a booth, I know about the lottery. Is that what happened? You both put it in? Went to another artist saying, "Hey, can we share?" Is that what it was?
I was the last man standing. They have a chart which has all the booths marked off as they are selected. Mm-hmm. The last one was marked off, and I was standing there without a booth.
Oh.
Yes, which was not
so
the
you
greatest
got
experience.
so you got in, but they didn't have a spot for you. Was that it?
Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't get a very good number as far as the lottery goes. So,
yeah.
But I asked around, and they do a really great job of trying to get everybody in.
Yeah.
So I ended up sharing a booth. That's how that came about.
Well, that worked.
Yeah.
And now you have your own.
Yes.
Well,
Yep.
tell me a little bit about your artwork. I'm looking at all the different ones on the table here. And of course, this beautiful monarch butterfly piece is absolutely spectacular. I don't know if it looks pretty good I'm trying to see on camera because of the glare of the lights. But you're a mixed media artist, so
Yes.
in looking at these, I can see exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
This is beautiful, and what I'm really impressed by is the iridescence, almost the metallic quality of the butterfly wings. It's beautiful.
It looks great in here under this lighting. It looks really good. Yeah, this is mixed media. The background is a photograph, actually, of eucalyptus trees on the sawdust ground.
Yeah, I can see that now, yeah.
So that was printed out in black and white, and then I mounted it to these panels. It's on wood panels. Mm-hmm. And then I stained the photo to give it this kind of sepia tone look. Then the butterflies are from two different paintings I did of monarch butterflies. Mm-hmm. I scanned those. I manipulated them a little bit on the computer to give them a little bit of variation in the color, mm-hmm. and then to print them out in different sizes. And then I cut out all of those prints and I pasted them on the background.
Okay.
And then the finish that makes the butterflies so shiny is a 2-part resin that I applied afterwards. And then the background here, this sort of more luminous finish, mm-hmm. is encaustic, which is mostly beeswax with a little bit of a damar resin mixed in.
Really?
Which is basically a tree sap.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in fact, when I look very, very close to this, you can't see it on camera, but in the background here, there is a texture to it, like a graining texture to it.
Yeah,
that is really neat.
It's a very versatile medium.
Absolutely beautiful. Do you do others like this large and this technique?
There are 3 in this series. One of them's already sold, which was a jellyfish, and then I have another one which is roses on a different background.
Oh, that would be really nice.
Yeah,
now
they're very striking.
Do you do commission work, or it's just this is what I want to do? I'm going to put this up and sell it.
Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah.
All right. So if somebody wants something done for them, Grant will do that for you.
Yep, I can do that.
All right, let's take a look at these smaller pieces here. The first one here, we just had somebody come on, a doctor coming on, talking about heart disease.
Yes.
And this is appropriate here. And I'm going to hold these up. Explain this to me. It is a heart that looks like to be on a book, and then barbed wire here, and the caption says, "Careful."
Yeah, that can be interpreted a few different ways.
Yeah.
But
don't break your heart, right?
Correct,
That's one
right.
way.
So this, the medium that is covering the book pages is the same medium that's here. It's the encaustic medium.
Okay.
So this is actual book pages. They're soaked in the wax.
Wow.
And then it's mounted onto the board. The heart itself is made out of clay, and then the barbed wire is just bent, and it's being held by the encaustic medium itself. And then the little plaque down here is actually made out of clay also. And this is a series I call the Love Actually series.
Okay, that fits.
It's new for me, but it's just
Very
another way to
cool.
use the encaustic medium, which is very different.
It is really neat, yeah. I like it, and again, on camera, you may not be able to see it, but you can see the actual pages of the book. They look very fragile, Yeah, quite different. I love this technique.
Yeah.
A true mixed media on this
Yeah,
one. isn't
definitely.
it? All right, let's look at the next one here. This looks.
Okay. These are just some smaller encaustic pieces,
Okay, make sure
also mixed
there
media.
we go.
So this is a collage of different elements of paintings.
Let me hold that up so you can see. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so it's a collage.
So this is a strip here. These elements some are pasted on. I'm trying to remember what I actually did in this piece, but so it's layered on and then it's coated with the encaustic. And this use of the encaustic has pigment mixed in with it. So this has a little bit of white, this has some blue. So you can mix in oil paints or just straight pigment with the encaustic also and use it like that.
Okay, question I have to ask.
Yes.
Because of this technique, the beeswax, I would say that wherever this is hung somewhere, it shouldn't be in direct sunlight or somewhere where it gets warm. Will that affect it, or once this is on here, it holds up?
You can get to about 185, 190 degrees before that's its melting point.
All right.
I think of it as kind of like a candle.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. When you make these pieces, do you first have a sketchbook, kind of sketch out rough ideas, and then figure out, this is the medium I want to use on this, or as you start to work on it, you just go, wow, that'll work over here, and what's your technique? Since you're using so many different styles here.
Yeah, I'm sketching all the time, and I'm trying to, I come up with lots and lots of ideas, and then I'm constantly trying to kind of refine those and focus. That's why I do a number of different series.
Okay.
Because I can do, say, this process, and I'll do a group of, 5 of them.
Yeah.
And then I can move on and explore this.
And this one looks like a person, almost to me, it looks like someone who is in a pool of water or a lake or something, kind of reaching out, maybe calling for help. That's what I get out of it, but it's probably wrong.
No, that's definitely one interpretation. And
Okay.
I like things that are kind of open-ended, so it's open for interpretation by the viewer. And this is actually a transfer of, she was printed out on a laser print, and then you can rub that laser print, rub the toner off onto the encaustic. And then this part here, this is handmade paper, which is made out of a
Kind of looks like tree bark.
Tree
a little
bark.
bit, Yeah. Very nice. And we have one more here we want to show, and this looks like Laguna.
This one is a little bit more straightforward. It's a photograph of Laguna. Pretty recognizable scene. You've probably seen this before. And then it's coated, on the top of it, it's coated with the encaustic, clear encaustic. So you can see it's kind of got the same brush strokes in it, and then it's shined up, it's kind of polished out. You can polish the encaustic, it's almost like a car wax. You can kind of wax on, wax off, and get that sheen to it.
Do you buy that in bulk, like blocks of beeswax, and then melt it down and apply this with a brush, or how does it go over?
You heat it up in like an electric skillet is used commonly, and then you can brush it on, you can pour it on, but as soon as you take the heat away, it's going to solidify.
Okay,
so
and you can tint it then.
Yes,
also. Okay.
So you have a limited amount of working time.
All right, that's really cool. And also you're working, as we all know, when it comes to art supplies, some of them can be a little bit caustic, where the beeswax you're pretty safe with, right?
You're pretty safe.
Yeah,
Right.
very good.
Right.
Have you made candles as well?
I haven't. Maybe that's something I should try.
Maybe a candle with a little pattern on it or something like that. That'd be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, Grant, this has been really nice. And you're at booth 219. And
Correct.
you also have a website. I wrote it down because it's your full name. Grant, there's a middle name, right?
Charles. So it's
Okay.
grantcharlesbathke.com.
Okay. So if you want to get a hold of Grant, oh, there it is. I did have it down there. So that way, if somebody maybe wants to get a commissioned piece or look at the pieces you have online. And what we have for you is, once again, we have a couple tickets to the Sawdust Festival. The first person who gives us a call, 949-597-4295, will win these 2 tickets. And we do ask that if you've already won one of the past couple weeks, give somebody else a chance. The Sawdust Festival runs all the way till September 1st,
Yep.
10 to 10 every day. Are you there every day?
Yep, I try to be.
All right. You can meet Grant again, booth 219. And I know all the artists are sometimes working while they're there, right? Do you do that as well?
Yeah, and I do a workshop on Thursday evenings too.
Great. I think that would be a great workshop if you're using the beeswax and stuff. That would be a really neat technique. Nice to meet you. It's been a pleasure having you
too.
on. This
Thank
is
you. Thank you very
beautiful
much.
work. I really enjoyed it.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank
All
you.
right, folks, we'll be right back. Wrap up of what's going on, more of this day, and tell you about the movie that we're going to be showing to you this afternoon and this evening. We'll be right back. Very nice.